Hello, my name is Tom Carhill. It's the 15th of October 2013. Today I'm going to be focusing on one of the, if you metaphorically speaking, tentacles of the octopus, which is the Aston Lloyd Ponzi scheme, ALPonz. So let me be clear, there's the people involved with the actual corporate entity, which, that bears the name of the main fraud, just like Madoff and Associates, but there's all these other spin-off companies that all, some of them had Madoff in the name, some of them didn't. They're all part of the same thing, and of course you've got complicit outside agents such as solicitors well, in America it would have been lawyers, wouldn't it? But also he had interest in England, but it would be solicitors, barristers, accountants, insolvency professionals, judiciary, whatever. They're all corrupt individuals, all insolvency services, all this type of stuff. It'll be the same over there, it's the same over here, and all these different people help to maintain these frauds and keep them going. And that the only way that you can understand how these things work is you've got to kind of like take little spoonfuls of it and understand that. And you've kind of got to, like, if you're ignorant how these things work, you've just got to appreciate that they all do fit together, and you've got to like take lots of little bites, and all of a sudden you've got 50 little bites, and you start realizing there's a pattern and they're all linked. That's how it works. Of course, in England, conspiracy is now a dirty word. Very, very pleasingly, a couple of days ago, there was the article in the Mirror saying that the Hillsborough disaster, now they're not allowed to be any Masons on the inquiry. But of course, and it's none of the police, because it was all just a Freemasonic cover-up. Now that's a bit strange, because the last time I spoke to a policeman said that it's all about a Masonic cover-up and that he hasn't even got any saying anything anyway. He almost started to cry, and he said, that's the 70s, that's the 70s. Now, it's a consistent theme. The police is completely run by Freemasons, so's the IPCC, and whatever came before it, that's like they're independent, but it's not independent. Police Complaints Commission, and so's the judiciary, and so's most of the top solicitors. They're all completely like, it's just like a little in crowd, and they all just like work together to fuck everybody else over. That's the way Freemasonry works. They add very little to the world. They claim every single invention or every great discovery as their own, and their actual policy is just put down anybody who could make them look bad by being good at anything or getting anywhere or being honest or anything like that. So they get a lot of the low level minions doing lots of charity work, all that kind of nonsense. But ultimately, their primary function is putting other people down and, giving themselves an entire track. So, for instance, if you buy a house at an auction, you're not going to get a good deal. But if a Freemason's been told about the auction beforehand, he'll go in and the whole thing will be rigged. So they'll get everything cheap. They don't get tax audits, whereas other people do. They can basically cheat and steal and do whatever they want, and it'll all be covered up. And if their sons get caught trafficking drugs or something like that, they'll get let off, and nothing will happen. Or in the instance someone I knew, they got caught stealing cars, not joyriding, car ringing, and their dad got called down to the police station. Next thing, they got offered a job in the police, and they took a job in the police because they thought, well, he likes stealing cars, driving around fast and beating people up. He'd be a perfect policeman, so they offered a job on the path. Job on the spot. So he thought he was going to get in trouble. He generally did think he was going to get in trouble. He couldn't believe it. He got like he said, it was a dream job for a while, but after a while, he said dealing with police got kind of tiring because most of them are morons. So he just had to quit. He couldn't really deal with it. But you see, this is the actual reality of it. You could not make it up, and that's first-hand experience. I know that particular guy's all right, but the point is, criminality is sought after in the Masons, and Masons, people who are criminals, also seek to get into the Masons so they can get on with more crimes. And that's the way it works right now. One of the particular strands in the Aston Lloyd story, what you've got to realise is you've got to take a jump down the rabbit hole of understanding how conspiracies work. They don't just work with people who work in the same office as each other. You get a wide web. You get people who would seem to be disparate parties conspiring. Now you get conspirators who are on the ground floor involved in it. You get people who become involved in it later on, and you also get people who are what I'd call structural elements of any conspiracy. So